All right, yes, I must say another good morning to all of you out there listening to Rock City 101.9 FM. In the city of Abeokuta, we are the voice of the people. It's paramount, it's crucial, it's important that there must be peace in our land. There must be peace in Ogun State. There must be peace in our community, in our environment. Well, I was listening to some people interpreting insurgency and Boko Haram comprehensively. I must say I have to agree with them that as it is now in the country, it's not just those attacks coming from the northeast that, well, some people will say can be said to be insurgency or Boko Haram. For anyone who do not want peace in any form to reign in this country, well, people will say they are right to tag that person a Boko Haram. Since Boko Haram is neither, it's not a religious thing, so it's more of criminality than any other thing. Therefore, those of you who are criminal minded could be said to be a Boko Haram. Dele Ayodo is my name. I welcome you to Citizens Forum this morning.
And I am Chienye Egwuonwu. Still talking about peace. We need peace in our parastatals, even in our institutions, and even on the very crisis we want to look at this morning.
Oh
The issues.
yes, oh yes, that appears to be plaguing different segments, different agencies, particularly the academic institution in the country. Here in Ogun State, as we speak, the state government is planning to do the groundbreaking of the Ogun State Polytechnic at its permanent campus in Ipokia. However, there are still issues one can say unresolved. Remember, the technical committee that gave birth to that institution have completed their work, so to say, even though it has not formally been wind up, but they completed their committee. Is now left to policy making and government to push forward the Moshood Abiola University of Science and Technology to be located here in Abeokuta and Ogun State Polytechnic, which I said the groundbreaking ceremony will happen. I think it's tomorrow, really, not today. Okay, at Ipokia. But the issues immediately after the NUC and the NBT were told approved the takeoff of this institution. There are so many crises, almost only violent, uh, following those decisions and steps taken, and a lot of things still needs to be cleared. Really, last week, all through the Daybreak Show, and particularly on the open day, a lot of you asked me so many questions that I cannot on my own answer, as it has to do with the status and so many other issues around, particularly now the Ogun State Polytechnic, or should I say Moshood Abiola Polytechnic. We'll continue to use those two names interchangeably as the program goes. So those of you who understand when we use Moshood Abiola Polytechnic and the Ogun State Polytechnic, I think those two names still remains valid and relevant to the discussion. That crisis, like I said, almost all violent. We got involved. I remember we also had the technical committee here to come and give us their position. We are still, as I speak, frantically trying to get the Ogun State government through the Ministry of Education to come and also give us their position. I want to give up. I continue to press on them and see, let them come and clear us. Maybe they are waiting for what they call an ideal time to come out with their own position. Yes, government has a way of doing that thing, and there are so many things you may not understand, except you're in government really, before you know the angle and the workings of government. But we will not give up. We will try and get them to come and tell us exactly what the situation is. We'll be again updating ourselves, looking at the status of that establishment. Moshood Abiola Polytechnic, or and I think they are both correct. Ogun State Polytechnic. This morning we have the chairman of the Academic Staff Union of Polytechnics, Moshood Abiola Polytechnic with us, Mr. Kola Abiola. I hope I'm right with that nomenclature.
Very correct, sir.
All right. Okay. So together we'll look at their side now and other issues. Like I said, trying to answer those questions that came in, a lot of it last week on the issue about the school. Uh, Mr. Abiola, straight to business. Why are you against the establishment of the Ogun State Polytechnic? Because that is what it appears to be.
Good morning, the good people of Ogun State, and good morning, listeners. Let me quickly correct some of the statements you made earlier. The technical committee did not create any institution. Those two institutions that were created by the bill that was enacted by the Ogun State House of Assembly.
I said midwife.
Okay, because you said created.
That's no, midwife
okay.
that led to the create midwife.
Okay, and having said that, MBTE has not given approval to Ogun State Polytechnic. That we know of this morning. We don't know, like you said, we don't know what will happen of this afternoon. But as of this morning, MBTE has not given approval to Ogun State Polytechnic Ipokia. The approval that we have and signed by the Executive Secretary of MBTE was addressed to Moshood Abiola Polytechnic, granting approval to more than about 23 courses to be offered for the next 5 years in both ND and HND level. Having said that, at no time has the union, or any union for that matter, in the present day Moshood Abiola Polytechnic opposed the idea of the establishment of a university. Sometimes one will begin to wonder why people derive joy in peddling lies. The staff of Moshood Abiola Polytechnic have been aware about establishment of a university or upgrading of Moshood Abiola Polytechnic to a university about 4 years ago, not minding how long the governor of the state has promised that he was going to do a university with Mapoli. But people have started realigning, upgrading, adjusting their academic qualifications and co. So when the bill was, the edit went for public hearing, the union was represented, and it should be on record that the first name of the school was Moshood Abiola University of Technology. And for everybody that is conversant with what is happening in the education sector now, specialized universities are not allowed to offer some other courses outside of their specialization, though there are still contention on it. These are one of the areas we have pointed out to the committee. And by the grace of God, when the name was eventually going to come out, it was a name that we suggested, Moshood Abiola University of Science and Technology, so that we'll be able to accommodate more courses. If we are against the university, will we point their attention into that direction? So why do we help in building the foundation and will now start destroying the house? It has never been any of our own idea to oppose the university. We're in support of upgrading Moshood Abiola Polytechnic into a university. We supported the idea, we have worked towards it, but we're saying that there's something fundamentally wrong with the building that you want to place on the foundation. And you know that once there are structural defects on the building, eventually you might get to any story building, 10, 20-story building, the building will come crumbling. We do not want Moshood Abiola University of Science and Technology to crumble, and we do not want the newly created Ogun State Polytechnic to crumble. That's why we are saying there has been a sure foundation. The bills has been passed. The bill, there are two bills, a bill upgrading Moshood Abiola Polytechnic into Moshood Abiola University of Science and Technology, and another bill, the creation of Ogun State Polytechnic.
These are the two bills.
Those are the two bills that were signed to law
of the assembly for approval and that. Okay.
Yes.
Now, what then is the grounds if you say you are not opposed to the university? What led to events that made people believe that that is your position?
In fairness, you said maybe when you are not in government, you don't know how government operates. Former President Olusegun Obasanjo once said that because you are my advisors, I am not bound to take your advices. We were able to stumble on the terms of reference given to the technical committee to work with. And specifically the item 5 on that terms of reference says that apart from the, as relating to the staff, it said reintegrate, redeploy. And I think there is a third one to do about the staff. There is nowhere in that thing that says that you should tell them that they are gone and they should reapply for
sorry,
the
when you say terms of reference,
given to the technical committee to work with.
terms of reference is a tool for work. It's not the result.
It's not the result. Yes, that's what I'm saying.
So but the fact that they have those terms of reference may not necessarily mean that is what the recommendation should be. No. It's just a guide.
That's what I'm saying. A guide for you to it's a guide. But like I saying, when you say that, I don't know if you are aware that a new university in Nigeria, by law, you cannot admit more than 500 students. That we know. The courses to be offered in the Moshood Abiola University of Technology, as we speak today, nobody in the school knows. The courses that has been accredited for Ogun State Polytechnic, nobody knows. So what we're saying is that before you now, even like I told you, the last time I came on your program, it was March 28. I said there are 47 PhD holders in the school. As I speak to you today, there are 51 PhD holders in the school. If I choose not to want to stay in a university, the minimum qualification required for you to stay in the university, to lecture in the university, is an MSc. If I choose not to want to stay in a university, I want to go to a polytechnic to continue lecture. Is my department, the courses I lecture, is it available? We don't know. Those are what we are asking. I have an evidence
so
of
the
what
grounds is how do we absorb those of us who are working in the institution? Is that the grounds?
The technical committee has said they are not going to sack anybody. But they have also said that not all courses as presently run in Moshood Abiola Polytechnic is going to be run. If you run 5 courses...
but that's what you've also just said. If there are going to be about 500 students maximum.
That's what I'm saying. Then, if you have about 500 students maximum, how many courses with that? Let's say 3, 4, 5, 6. There. Ipokia, you don't have the accreditation for Ipokia yet. The people that cannot be accommodated in Moshood Abiola Polytechnic and cannot be accommodated in Ogun State Polytechnic because of no accreditation yet, what happens to their job? How many artisans and cleaners do we have as presently in Moshood Abiola Polytechnic? What is the percentage of those artisans and cleaners that will be needed in the new polytechnic or the new university? How are they going to be catered for? Those are the questions we are asking. We are asking, what is the financial plan of the new institution? What's the financial plan for Moshood Abiola University of Science and Technology? What is the financial plan for Ogun State Polytechnic? One of the last letter we sent to the government, we gave them options of how to run these things so that there will be no problem. They are going to do groundbreaking in Ipokia today. We are saying let there be aggressive development of the site of Moshood Abiola Polytechnic, and let Moshood Abiola Polytechnic admit students. Moshood Abiola University of Science and Technology take off too. And then when these two go pari passu, by the time you have full accreditation from the regulatory body for next academic session, Moshood Abiola Polytechnic gradually move to the new Ogun State Polytechnic, and Moshood Abiola University of Science and Technology has already taken off. We are considering this option because we know that there is no money right now, and we know also that maybe in the last 4 years the school has been self-funding. This was a government that told us sometimes ago that all tertiary institutions should go fund themselves. The wage bill of Moshood Abiola Polytechnic is about 150 million naira per month. We get sparingly from the government 11 million naira.
Before we move on, so that we can clear this, who should provide answers to these questions? Is it government or the technical committee?
The technical committee, if they had listened to us, they will probably have liaised with the government and given us answer. The technical committee did not want to talk to us.
But the technical committee cannot provide an answer. Their own, like the name suggests, is a technical assignment.
But you use the word midwife. When you are midwifing, you are bringing something to bed. And if there are contentious issues, then you consult your superiors. We will have asked the questions. If they were not able to answer the question, and let me also tell you that when these issues were coming up, they are rising, the governor of Ogun State inculcated the Commissioner for Education into the committee. We expect that the Commissioner of Education should be able to provide them some answers. If they cannot get the answers, the governor is still there to provide the answer. But the technical committee has never sat with us for one day.
As the government said anything about it? Do we have a position of the
Nothing,
government?
nothing.
So if we don't, which I'm also aware, some people will say, why are we then in a hurry? Why are we then trying to beat the drum when the drummer himself and the dancers are not ready?
On what basis will you admit students into Ogun State Polytechnic? Before you admit into any polytechnic, there must be a letter of accreditation. The accreditation process between the polytechnic and the university are two distinct things. The MBT, which is the regulatory body for the polytechnic, gives accreditation on site basis. They come, they inspect your facilities, they inspect the certificate of your manpower, and they give you accreditation for those courses. What the NUC has given Moshood Abiola University of Science and Technology is a letter of recognition. We recognize that you want to start a university. The government or the technical committee has not shown us or told us that these are the courses that have been approved for us to start. The MBT has not given any letter to say go and start this program in Ogun State Polytechnic Ipokia, but we have a letter that says you can run these 23 programs in Moshood Abiola Polytechnic for the next 5 years. That is what we are asking for.
Okay, what then do you want from the government?
I just told you now. One, what are the courses that are going to be offered in Moshood Abiola Polytechnic, Moshood Abiola University of Science and Technology? What are the courses that is going to be offered in Ogun State Polytechnic Ipokia? What is the accreditation status of those courses? What is the financial plan for these two schools?
Okay, could you explain to us what is the fusion between ASUP and the transition committee?
The fusion is that they are making an attempt to shave our head in our absence. And we have said that bring us, if we have been brought on the table, all this we will have told them. And like Dele said, if they are not able to provide answers to it, they will have asked their boss and they will have provided answer for this. I just want to quickly dissuade the mind of people that sees union as an antagonist or an alternative government. We are not an antagonist. We are supposed to be a partner in progress. If you have a business plan, there is a tendency that you are only looking at how the money will come in or how things will go. But the union will look at the welfare of its people. And when you sit down on the same table, you are able to iron it out. And when the product is going to come out, it's going to come out clean. You, the management or the owner of the school, will take the glory. Nobody will know that the union has contributed in anything. But when you refuse to listen to them, that's when it becomes an issue. You will recollect that Moshood Abiola Polytechnic has not locked the gate of his school in the last 4 years. It is not because we have all our entitlements, all our allowances. No. Just recently, the last exam we did, our allowances were cut by 60%. We understood that there is no money and we saw what the money was used for. If we don't know what it was used for, we will not agree. But because we know what is going on, and that's what we have told the technical committee when they came. Let's sit at the same table, listen to our own side of the story. We welcome you, we want you to succeed. And we want this thing to take off and be perfect. Ogun State is known for doing fantastic things as being the first. We don't want Ogun State to have a record of being the first that started something that did not survive. And this is what we are telling the committee. This is what we have been telling the government.
Okay, we have a crisis at hand now. Has the governor intervened?
The governor tried to intervene on July 13th when we picketed Moshood Abiola Polytechnic. And there, the governor instructed, in the presence of the Commissioner for Education and the technical committee, that they should carry us along in their decision process. A day after, we had our congress and we called off the industrial strike, and we wrote to the Commissioner of Education highlighting everything that transpired with the government, that they should confirm these are actually the account of what happened between the governor, transition committee, and our union. To date, that letter has not been replied. We wrote a reminder. It was just acknowledged. Nothing came out of it. We have sent our communique to them again, highlighting all these areas that we have said. We have not received anything. We went ahead to publish the communique in the National Daily. Nothing has also been done. We have also sent a letter through the commissioner to the governor directly, highlighting how we think this thing can be solved. No response.
Okay, we have a crisis at hand. We should know the root cause of this crisis. And then before we even talk about having an agreement, where was it got wrong?
The technical committee are arrogating monopoly of wisdom to themselves, that they can do it alone without the people that are involved.
But when you say that about the technical committee, I know very well that the rector of the school is a member of that technical committee. True or false?
It's very true.
And then I also know that many of the sittings or proceedings of that committee were done within your school compound and open to many of the members of the school community. Is that also not correct?
That's not correct.
Do you have members of your school community apart from the rector also have members or observers?
None that I know.
Are you saying those meetings were not held within your school?
They were held within the school.
So, and that you were not permitted to watch proceedings?
Even when the governor intervened, the registrar of JAM, who is a member of the committee, promised us that subsequently, even if they will not allow us to take part, they will allow us to be an observer in that committee so that we monitor their process. The next meeting they had when we left the government, they said no, they will not allow us to come in.
Yeah, but your rector is a member. Does that not presuppose that he should represent?
The rector does not. The rector does not represent the union. It does not represent the staff.
School.
He's representing the government. Don't forget that he's a government appointee. He's not representing the staff. The unions are the one representing the staffs, and we have 3 unions on the campus. None of the unions were ever called.
Okay, so to you, the rector
is the technical committee, and when we talk about the technical committee, he is also part of the technical committee.
Is it also true that he has not been briefing you people on what was going on at the sittings?
Dele, if you happen to be a member of the technical committee and you have a meeting and you are not mandated to tell us anything, or you have an agreement to tell us anything, being a government appointee, would you come back and tell us anything?
But how did you then come to know about many of those things that happened in the committee sitting?
I don't know how to say this in Yoruba, but you know that there is nothing hidden under the heavens. You know how you do your work. When you want to get information, you know how you get information. But the truth of the matter is, those things that we have said, let them come out clear and say it is not true. Then you will say that we're lying.
Okay, Comrade Abiola, in one of the reports I read on newspaper, you said nothing will come out of the report. And if you support the upgrade, why would you say that?
If you are told to do a job, for instance, upgrading of Moshood Abiola Polytechnic into a Moshood Abiola University of Science and Technology, at least if for anything you want to know what Moshood Abiola Polytechnic has, you want to know the resources, you want to know the manpower, I think it is not sufficient enough to just sit down in one office and begin to write, these are your expectations. And don't forget, members of the technical committee might have established a university, new university before. None of the person in that committee have upgraded a polytechnic into a university. So we're saying that this is a peculiar thing. You should have gone round and see what is on ground. How do you do this? How have you been managing this? Okay, this is where we are going. This is what we will do. You talk to the people. It is on record that I don't know how they were persuaded to talk to us. They've had about 2 or 3 meetings inside the school campus without talking to any of the union. We're in Yoruba land. If you get to somebody's house, it is expected that you say, you came into the campus and you're already working, and when you eventually came, call all staff together, we are in the campus, this is what we want to do. And we welcome you and we told you, please, we know this terrain more than you. Ask us questions. We are willing to make you work. And so if you have not done anything in terms of knowing the assignment that they're giving you, because we believe that no 2 assignments are the same. If you have not done enough about the assignment that are giving you, what eventually will come out of your report? We don't expect anything good to come out of that report. And so that paper you read, I mentioned that they are consulting some people. If you had started with that in the first place, you will have gotten an information on how to deal with us. Why are they now running helter-skelter when they want to submit report, to want to copy the blueprint of another person? And don't forget that, in academics, one of the biggest offense you can commit is plagiarism. Why do you want to go and copy somebody else's work and send it to the governor that this is a work that you have done, that you have been paid to do, and you have not actually done the work.
What then are your agitations to remove the committee chairman, Professor Kola?
We are not interested in removing the technical committee chairman. We are just saying that we don't have confidence with the technical committee as presently headed by Professor Kola. It is not about his person, it is about the committee.
Who owns the Moshood Abiola Polytechnic?
The Ogun State government, of course.
Who owns the Moshood Abiola University of Science and Technology?
The Ogun State government.
Okay, if that is so, are we not just belaboring issue, flogging a dead horse if we look at it, if we did not look at it this way? The current location of the school, whichever name you give to it, either poly, that's why I said those names will be interchanging as we speak. If government who owns those two schools decide that, okay, let's just move Moshood Abiola Polytechnic to Ipokia for now, pending where we will now have the Ogun State Polytechnic, will anything be wrong in that? Or do you not think that is what government is trying to do?
Dele, I want to assume that you still have a father. And even if you are 90,
I don't.
Okay. Even if you had a father and you are 98 years old and your father is still alive, does it remove the fact that he's your father?
Okay, it does
No.
not.
Ogun State Polytechnic, Ogun State Moshood Abiola University of Science and Technology, Moshood Abiola Polytechnic remains the property of Ogun State government. And I said in the beginning that 2 bills were signed into law. The bills that were signed to law is the upgrading of Moshood Abiola Polytechnic into Moshood Abiola University of Science and Technology. And the second bill, the creation of Ogun State Polytechnic, Ipokia. If the government can unilaterally say Moshood Abiola Polytechnic move to Ipokia, they don't need to go to the House of Assembly to make an edit and eventually do a public hearing and sign it. We're saying that the bills that you have signed, follow the bill.
No, that's what I said.
I'm going.
Okay.
Follow the bill that you have signed. You have upgraded Moshood Abiola Polytechnic to a university. In that bill, says all properties, assets, and liability of Moshood Abiola Polytechnic from this day belongs to Moshood Abiola University of Science and Technology. That is in the bill, upgrading Moshood Abiola Polytechnic to Moshood Abiola University of Science and Technology.
Okay.
What is the definition of property, assets, and liability? You want to take over the building? You want to take over the land? You are not taking over the human capital in the school. That is one side. You have not said you want to establish Ogun State Polytechnic. I'm sure that you are aware that even this present Moshood Abiola Polytechnic started on Okeogunya to Nikolobo to its permanent site. I'm sure when they were going to get to their permanent site, there was a building. When the school was going to start, there were accredited courses that they start with. We're asking Ogun State government, show us the list of courses that has been accredited for Ogun State Polytechnic.
Obviously, from your explanation, there are several issues, but I'm trying to separate. I don't want to get them clustered into one thing because the Moshood Abiola Polytechnic will cease to exist after the establishment of Ogun State Polytechnic. That's what it's in the interpretation of that law will mean. But until that happens, until the takeoff of the Ogun State Polytechnic, the interpretation could also be right to say we still have Moshood Abiola Polytechnic, which government is trying to move to Ipokia. Another question, issue we are crossing together is who is the employer of the people, the humans in the school? Is it Moshood Abiola University or Moshood Abiola Polytechnic?
Dele, please, I want you, the choice of what we are using here matters very well. Moshood Abiola Polytechnic has not been moved to Ipokia. Moshood Abiola Polytechnic has been upgraded into Moshood Abiola University of Science and Technology. You can check the bill to see what I'm saying. Ogun State Polytechnic Ipokia is a new creation by law. So Ogun State Polytechnic is a new creation by law. Moshood Abiola Polytechnic is being upgraded to Moshood Abiola University of Science and Technology. And I said one of those things there, that from this day, the property, asset, liabilities of Moshood Abiola Polytechnic is hereby transferred to Moshood Abiola University of Science and Technology. The owner of the school is still Ogun State. You know, by the grace of God, we have Senator Ibukule Amosu FCA as the governor today. In another 2-3 years, he will not be governor of Ogun State. Somebody else will be governor of Ogun State. That person assumed the ownership on behalf of the people of Ogun State. So the property belongs to Ogun State. But when the fate of Ogun State is going to be decided, like for example, if the fate of Ogun State is going to be divided, and they are going to talk about it in Abuja, will you say you want to exclude the governor of Ogun State from being in that meeting?
No, now, you cannot.
Now you are deciding the fate of the people working in Moshood Abiola Polytechnic, and you are not putting them into consideration. You are not listening to them.
Mr. Abiola, the truth about all this, that's why I said a lot of issues are a bit closer than maybe interpretation. The reality, the truth about this absorbing people or even the property is that the university system and operations, we all know clearly, differs from that of the Polytechnic. You know that in the establishment, the ranking, the procedural things and all. If that is, and by that, it is also clear that it is not everything in the Polytechnic that will function in the university. That is also clear.
Dele, it is very erroneous for people to go out and be selling wrong information about the union. Even with a PhD, I might decide not to want to stay in the university system.
You could prefer the Polytechnic.
I prefer to go to the Polytechnic. If I prefer to go to the Polytechnic, what is the assurance that my course is accredited in the Polytechnic? I am telling you that we have members that don't want to lecture in the university, that wants to go, not because they are not qualified. We have qualified people, and there are people that are qualified that even their courses might not be available in the university.
That's the reality.
That's what we're saying. Face. That's what we are saying. If my course is not going to be available in the university, then you should be able to make sure that my course is available in the Polytechnic. Because if my course is not available in the Polytechnic, you said I'm not going to lose my job. What has happened to me? I am automatically jobless. So if you are told us these are the courses you want to start with the university, we can tell you, because you are starting with all these courses in the university, a lot of these people in other courses will be de-emphasized. Start with the bulk of these courses in the Polytechnic.
But like you said, the MBT has not given approval to Ogun State Project, so we don't know what is happening yet.
Why do you want to admit into a school that has no accreditation?
Are they admitting?
They said that is where they want to admit to.
There is no admission yet.
That's what we are saying, that they said they want to admit into Ogun State Polytechnic Ipokia, that we don't have an authority to admit. The school that we have an authority to admit till the next 5 years, you are not allowing us to admit. Remember that all these processes started after students, after candidates has filled their JAM form, has done JAM in March. Most of them has picked Moshood Abiola Polytechnic as their first choice. Those students did not pick Ogun State Polytechnic Ipokia. Now, when admission by JAM's guidelines, first batch of admission will close October 15. This is on the 12th. Admission process in Moshood Abiola Polytechnic has been halted. It's been put on hold now. We cannot admit. The Moshood Abiola University of Science and Technology admission process has not started. The source of income for Moshood Abiola Polytechnic is the revenue generated from students. The students are not coming in. Government is not giving us money. How do you run the school?
Now, sorry, Chienye, please, I'm very sorry about it. Chienye said something now about how it started, what should be done, and where are we. Now, from all you have said, the NUC and the MBT are major actors. In actual fact, we all know you cannot take any step without their approval. And one would have thought that this is where you should begin to clear these issues. Why did NUC give approval. Why
Please,
is MBT not given
you
approval?
are using wrong choice of words. You are using wrong choice of words. I don't know how radio stations are licensed, but I know that before you get your license, you send in some documents, you write in applications, and there will be correspondence. They tell you to do things. After the Ogun State House of Assembly passed the bill and the governor assented to it, because it's a creation of a state government, the bill has given the governor or the government to be able to start the university, and they get letter of recognition. I repeat, letter of recognition. Letter of recognition does not mean
not an approval.
Accredited. You are accredited to run courses.
But interestingly, if you check AUC site, Moshood Abiola University is already there.
If you see the day that the governor went there, the executive secretary AUC mentioned Moshood Abiola University as being the number something private university.
It's already on their website.
So. Recognition. As big as a university in the Southwest is. Sometimes ago, medicine and surgery was deaccredited in the University of Ibadan. Just recently, their pharmacy was deaccredited, but their letter of recognition has it been taken away? If you go to the AUC website, you will still see University of Ibadan there.
And that's why I said, why don't you mount this pressure on them to come and do the proper thing? Because
we are not the one to mount pressure on them. We are the one telling them that you have not done this, and that is what we are saying. That if you had called us to the table, we will have told you do this, and you will have told us this is what you have done. This is the number of courses that you have collected. We did not mount pressure on MBT to write Moshood Abiola Polytechnic to send us the list. Sometimes around May, June, members of MBT came to the Polytechnic, and the Polytechnic spent several millions of naira to get accreditation for all the courses that we presently run. And when they came, they inspected equipment, laboratory, classrooms, and everything, human resources. They went back. They wrote to us formally, giving us accreditation for 23 courses run at both ND and HND. We did not go and pressurize them. We did what was right. We followed the procedure, and they gave us. And that is what we are saying, do and give us. If you follow the procedure, come and give us the evidence that these courses have been accredited, not letter of recognition. NBTE does not give letter of recognition. NBTE does not approve by proxy. NBTE comes to site to see what is on site, and they approve. It might have been done somehow in the last 20 years, but the reality of what is on ground now is that NBTE will come to site, inspect, even to the minute detail of that school, and they will pass you, okay, you can do these courses, you can do these courses, and they will write to you formally. You can show anybody that comes.
So are you saying these regulatory bodies are not performing optimally?
I will not say they are not performing optimally.
So what then are their roles? What roles are they playing in this?
I am saying that if you have taken the right documents to them, if you have done the right thing, they will also have answered you.
Are you suspecting anything that we are not seeing or the public does not know in this issue?
We are saying that they should tell the technical committee and the Ogun State government to show us evidence.
That's why, are you suspecting anything? Do you have a feeling that
our feeling is that if we do not see this accreditation, they will push people to Ogun State Polytechnic Ipokia, and they will use the political might to bring in few students into that school. And after a year, MBT will say these courses are not accredited. You remember that some health institutions in Ogun State don't have accreditation, don't run again.
School of Nursing.
So this we don't want to happen to Ogun State Polytechnic. Let's get the proper license before you start, so that you don't bring in students.
Because that's one of the issues that appear difficult to clear. Proper licensing of the process, the procedural errors made. How and why did it happen? These are questions that appears to we have not cleared.
Dele,
this procedural.
Why and how? If I come to your house, I do not know your house, your terrain more than you. I should ask questions. And this is what I said. We said, ask questions so that we will tell you. Don't forget the fact that we are also seeing that there is a disdain for the polytechnic education. And you know that there is disdain for the polytechnic education, especially by the setup of the technical committee. There is no known polytechnic not administrator. There is a former registrar of the polytechnic in the committee.
Yeah, for Mrs. Falani.
Yes.
I understand.
There is an academic person from the polytechnic in that committee. And when you come out with it, somebody was telling us that even if you are going to look at you people in the polytechnic, all the papers and journals that you write in the polytechnic can be likened to roadside publications. And these are the things we feel that these are the way they look at you, and they look at you as if you are nobody and they cannot talk to you, that we have it all and we can do it. And this is what is coming out of it.
The academic staff, are you annoyed at an individual, or is it an institution that you have issues with? Clearly, let's just say
we don't have issues with an individual. We have issues with the committee that are trying to midwife Moshood Abiola Polytechnic into Moshood Abiola University of Science and Technology, and also the creation of Ogun State Polytechnic.
Okay, quickly, how are your members and students taking this new development, and what do you think is the way forward? Quickly, before we go on the break.
I want to assume that the students should be able to have information on their own if they are following it, because we don't address the students. But our members are following the happenings with keen interest, and we're just, like I said, we're suspicious of some things that are being done in the secret. We want everything to be placed on the table so that everybody, let us cross the T's and dot the I's together. We don't have issues with the government. We want the government to succeed, but we do not want any illegality to happen. And we do not want, because we like the government will go and our faith will now be thrown into the air. And that's why we want an enduring thing to happen. That's all we want.
Okay, thank you very much. We will still come back and continue on Citizens Forum on the Daybreak Show, Rock City 101.9 FM. We are looking at the crisis plaguing the Mapoli University. Okay, before then, begin to turn in your messages via the short code 32120. Type rock, leave a space, type your message, include your name, and send it to 32120. And the Twitter handle, you can tweet at us at Rock City FM. And for the Facebook fan page, Rock City 101.9 FM. We'll take this break for the national news at 10, and we'll come back to continue on Citizens Forum. Don't touch that dial.
into the Citizens Forum of the Daybreak Show, Rock City 101.9 FM. Yes, this is the voice of the people. This morning we have with us the Chairman Academic Staff Union Polytechnic, Moshood Abiola Polytechnic Chapter, Mr. Kola Abiola, here with us together. We are looking at some unseen issues. The crisis is still there apparently. Unresolved issues, questions unanswered, around about the takeoff, establishment, inauguration, I'm sure all those words are correct, of the Moshood Abiola University of Science and Technology, and again, or the Ogun State Polytechnic. We'll straight on turn the microphone over to you. Let's get your comments. Yes, it's a local issue, like some people want to admit. Let's get your thoughts. Let's get your questions for our guest. And of course, if there are other issues you also have clearance for, you can also let us have that. But quickly, there are rules to the game. While we welcome all opinions, they are important, they are vital to the topic, and of course, cleaning up our society. However, while doing that, please do not come up with claims that cannot be substantiated. We will not take deliberate acts of inciting, maligning, or propaganda on the program. That's not our focus. That's not our aim for doing this. And of course, no insult or abuse will be taken from you on any individual or personality as you make your comment. That is wrong. Unseen comments, words used, let's be careful about it. That's not why the program is on. And please, 2 minutes maximum time. We'll keep to this allocated to each call, and ensure that you have your radio away from where you are. This is also as important as that call itself. Jane.
The numbers 0809 868 7344 or 1469670.
Yeah, thank you very much for following the program. I just want to quickly try to state the issues.
You have 2 minutes to do that. You have 2 minutes to do that, please.
One because Moshood Abiola was our benefactor. And when the federal government tried to rename Unilag with that name, they rejected. We felt insulted. And now that the state government was able to now get that and get the university that name, we are so happy. But the concern is about the sustainability of the university and that of the polytechnic. Secondly, now, the major source of income is the school fees for students. And you want to the university something that cannot make more than 500. And school fees will be charged around 120,000 naira. The money you are going to collect is there about 60 million, which cannot even be able to meet the wage bill for a month. And another issue is that people even would want to allow everybody to work in that university. With 500 students, and we have a staff of over 700, is it possible? Now, they will say polytechnic. There is a procedure as a staff. We are saying that if we are not pushed to say polytechnic that has accreditation, that means at the end of the day, your job is on the line. And even how do you even fund that university and the polytechnic? If presently now, the government has not been able to be funding the present Moshood Abiola Polytechnic. That's why the suggestion has been made that let us make it.
You are approaching 2 minutes.
For now, we're supposed to have been rounding up admission for the polytechnic. For the polytechnic, for the university, no admission.
Thank you. Thank you. The 2 minutes is up. Hello?
Hello, good morning.
Yes, morning.
My name is Alaji Ayonuga Power from my Saraki base too.
Thank you.
Well, let me just put it the way I know how to. By saying, Òdodo ló mórílẹ̀-èdè lékè o, ẹ jẹ́ ká ṣòtítọ́, òtítọ́ ló dára o. Kọ́lé 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 sórí àpáta, ilé ìyanrìn, ọba yanrìn lọ. Ẹ jẹ́ ká kọ́lé sórí àpáta o.
Is that all?
Well, that's all.
All right, thank
that
you.
That passed the message.
Yeah.
Hello, good morning. We have you.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
My name is Sept. I'm speaking from Abiola.
Okay,
Thank
go
you.
on. Your two
Yeah.
minutes starts now.
Moshood Abiola Polytechnic, the particular institution, that the staff and the working committee in that institution work in hands, make sure we take move forward. They generate funds, they work on themselves. You know that there are some instruments in Moshood Abiola Polytechnic as I'm talking to you today that a particular university does not even have, and they are running that course in their own university. Moshood Abiola Polytechnic as today, and I'm telling you, has a lot of assets outside there that create money. Why will some people come to Moshood Abiola Polytechnic and think they can just come and pass that institution? Because now, when they say the particular answer or whatever are working for one politician, which is not true. When those people are telling you this is the right thing for you to do, you don't answer them. And when they tell them, they will tell you, look, yeah, we move from one place to another. You want to start saying so much to Balige. And unfortunately, this particular group of people who pass to the particular group, they went to the particular our special holders in the Ghana there. Explain to them, the king said they are working for politicians, that they should go and clear themselves without even investigating. And as a father, if two sons are fighting, you hear from the first one, you hear from the second one. This is what we want. We don't want this position to come down. We have been suffering for so long. We have been working so hard to make sure the university move forward. Why will you come? And the government said, put them into, carry them along. They are saying they will not carry them along. I'm wondering if the government even have any power to even give any order. Say carry them along. Say you're not going to carry them along. Unfortunately, some particular committee or whatever, probably they are working for a particular position to squash the name of this government. And when they pass that go and leave, they will not be questioned.
All right,
You are putting your 2 minutes.
Thank you very much. Hello, good morning. Hello, we have you. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good
Well,
morning.
good morning, Chienye. Good morning, Dele. Sorry, I don't get that name. I'm Kayode from Abiola. Good morning, Chairman ASUP Mapoli.
Good morning, sir.
I
Thank
greet you very well. You see, there's always a tide in the affairs of men. And when leaders don't listen to criticism, these are the things we will have on ground. And this is a build-up to what we are talking about. You see, I believe by your submission, everything you have submitted today is in total truth, but nothing but truth. You see, the insinuation was all around that you people there, you don't want the upgrading of Mapoli to university. But you can see by all the takes, all the submission that you have iterated this morning, in the position of acceptance of the upgrading, in the position of the creation of Ogun Poly in Ipokia to the status of probably the Polytechnic, which doesn't even have accreditation up till now. Probably, I don't know whether they are going to have accreditation this Monday or not. But you have also attributed the fact that your rector, as a member of the team, was not to disclose any briefing. So who else could be able to do it if not the team together? So I got you also when you said the governor that wanted to create another polytechnic upgraded a third university now was unable to fund you properly, but only giving you 11 million naira. That is very bad. I don't
You
know
are
whether it's going
approaching
to
your
give other
2 minutes
universities
too.
as well up to that. But how could they be able to fund? I like that song from that man that came from
Thank you.
Saraki here. I don't know why we don't. I mean,
All
how
right,
to.
thank you. Two
you. Thank you
minutes,
very
maximum
much.
allocated. All right, begin to send your tweets and, of course, messages to the short code 32120. We will, in about 5 minutes, check it out. Hello,
Hello. Please turn
you
down
are
the volume on
breaking
your
the
radio
rule.
set. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning. Yeah,
Yes, good morning, sir.
good morning. Good morning, Mr. Ayodo.
Good morning, sir.
Mr. Ayodo, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah, I'm Taiwan. You're going to from Tapcon area, Ikeja town.
All right, thank you.
Yes. Uh, Governor Ibukule Amos to be thanked for the good job he's doing. He had good motive for upgrading the Napoli and for establishing another polytechnic in Ipokia there. Don't let us put politics into this thing. I mean, the student body should not allow themselves to be, used by politicians. It's grown through the element. You should be very careful. Devoid education from politics. And be careful of what you are doing. Don't put this state into problem, into confusion. That's my warning to you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, it's not the student body that we have there, and interestingly, the students so far have, in quote now, behaved and remained calm ever since the issue began. Let's take your call. Good morning.
Hello, we have you. Good morning. The issue in Mapoli is what should have been avoided. We always employed fire brigade approach to carry out projects and the results have always been disastrous. The government should have left Mapoli in its present location and established a new university somewhere else. The university should have been a long-term project. Why the rush? The question is, why new university in Ogun with avalanche of universities in the state? Kenny Additional from Ashira is asking that question. Abdurrashid Okenla from Abeokuta. I still don't get my brother in the house right. Sir, are you saying the lecturers and the students should be moved from Polytechnic? They should also be moved alongside to the university. I believe so much that those committee in charge know better. I advise you to table your grievances to the appropriate committee. You can never be the judge in your case. To me, you can only advise. You can't dictate or impose your views on those in charge. That's from Abdurrashid Okenla. Then we have this one from Emmy. Good morning. I want to ask if the strike is off already. Okay, then we have this one. My name is.
Sorry, I think he's talking. The person is talking about the
ASUP.
university strike.
Sure, ASUP.
It's on. It's
Still
still
on.
on. But we are not looking at the university, we are looking at the creation of a university and a polytechnic here in the state. Thank you.
Please, I want to confirm on behalf of all HND students if our exams will commence on the 18th of September. Olaliko Jr. from Pansheke Abeokuta wants to know that. He wants confirmation on that.
If the
Then
exams
Mr.
will still be
Abiola.
on.
But Mr. Abiola, you must understand everyone cannot be absorbed in our university system with the way academic activities is being run and treated in that school, which you and I are aware. Professors will be brought to do away with malpractices, and the new rector is fighting to complement his efforts. Abe from Abeokuta sent in that one. It's like the man in the studio. Okay. Shodia from Adeon sent in that one, and that message is not complete. On the part of the state government, why create problems for yourselves when there is no fund? You once wanted to merge the TASWED with Faculty of Education, OOU, to curb expenses. So why create another polytechnic when you can merge that with the likes of ICT Poly at Itori and make the institution bigger? Abe from Elega is also suggesting that. Then Fumilayo has this one. The solution to all this problem lies with the governor. Please beg him to give the technical committee better instructions on what to do, rather than play politics with the staff, students' lives. Thank you. Fumilayo sent in that message. Then we have Oluwa Sheye Pius. Please, sir, my question is this. When the governor had said early of this regime that there was no money to finance two universities, now they have money to create another university. Hope there will be no problem. Lastly, this is still from Abe. Let ASUP chairman answer this. What is the association doing to improve the academic qualities of the institution? What are you doing to curb your members who force students to buy books and give marks freely without bothering if the student has anything upstairs but just the pocket? I wanted to address that.
Okay, let's start because it's a deluge of questions and queries on the different platforms. Isabella, can you please?
Let me quickly start from the last text that was read. What is the association doing to curb excesses of lecturers in the school? Some times ago, you recollect what happened in our school. Is a school where excesses are never covered, and we deal with it like that. And if you say that our stars are not qualified, just in a couple of months, 182 of a student of accountancy just became a chartered accountant, and just last week, and then the two students just became a chartered accountant. You don't find that even in 400, 500, or 300 level in the university. These are students being taught by the people you say they are not qualified. I think you should go check your data very well and see whether it is you that is not reading and you want to get marks that is not appropriate for what you have done. Abe from Adigbe talked about assumption into the university. We are not talking about absorbing everybody into the university, but somebody has raised an issue of funding here. When you bring in one professor to a department, the wages of that professor will pay 4 or 5 lecturer 3. And I dare say that somebody in the technical committee presently sits on this council of a private university. With all sense of modesty, I said we have 51 PhD holder. That university does not have 20 PhD holder. And you are now saying of a polytechnic that has 51 PhD holder and they are not qualified to teach in the university. So we are not talking about whether they are qualified. I might be qualified and don't want to stay in the university. What we are saying, bring out the authorities that you have to do these two things. Dele talked earlier that Moshood Abiola University of Science and Technology is listed in the NUC website. Please also confirm from the MBTE website whether you have an Ogun State Polytechnic Ipokia. These are the questions that we are asking. Student movement. Somebody said we are imposing our view on the government, whatever. Let us say that we are all major stakeholders in Ogun State, and we have given the responsibility of managing Ogun State to the people we have elected. Because we have elected them does not mean that we will share our responsibility in guiding them as appropriate. Fantastic. The Ogun State government have a brilliant idea, and I did say that they followed the law, follow the law to the letter, get the accreditation from the people that are responsible to do it, show us the accreditation, get us infrastructures that will accommodate us, put money on the table that this is what you want to read, because right now there is no money on the table. In the last 4 years, Moshood Abiola Polytechnic has been funding itself, and I dare say that you come there, you see infrastructure removing. The governor of Ogun State himself came during our last graduation, and when the council chairman was thanking him for providing resources, he said himself, do not thank me, I have not given them any kobo. They have been doing this on their own. And at several times he has told some other institution, if you don't know how to run your institution, go to Moshood Abiola Polytechnic and run it. Not because of the money we are getting from them, it's because we have been able to manage our money very well. Mr. Tawu, in your body, like I said, we are all citizens of Ogun State. No ethnic colorations here. No ethnic coloration. But what should be done for the benefit of Ogun State. If any bad name comes to Moshood Abiola Polytechnic, I have traveled the length and breadth of this country. All I need to tell anybody is that I am from Mapoli. I don't need to say I am from Abeokuta. Everybody knows where Mapoli is. Executive Secretary of MBT has recollected that one of their most prime polytechnics in Nigeria is Moshood Abiola Polytechnic Abeokuta, and this is a polytechnic that is not properly funded and is competing with federal schools that are properly funded. It means that there's something fantastic going on there. The Department of Engineering, Mechanical Engineering can be compared to any university in Nigeria, not to talk of polytechnics. These are what we are doing there, and you now say that maybe people are lazy about doing things. So it is not about politics. Nobody is playing politics, but we are saying that they should not play politics with our own life. Don't play politics with our own life too. In 2 years, when you go for election and you probably go back to your house or you go to another office, what happens to the staffs and students of Moshood Abiola Polytechnic? That is what we are asking about. We are not concerned about any politics. We are not playing politics. We are concerned about our own future, about our own sustainability. Students have just resumed now. If salaries don't come and they send the children of lecturers
September
out.
18 exam.
September 18 exam is on the board. Timetables has been released. Everything. If the student that asked the question, if you have checked your board, you'll have seen your timetable. Your timetable says.
Because of the time.
Your timetable says 18.
Leke's questions.
Leke's question said the implication of not admitting students. If students are not admitted, there is no money in Moshood Abiola Polytechnic. Salaries cannot be paid, and I'm sure that there is no labor force that will not collect salary and be laughing with his employers. So. And he said about the economic effect. Right now, Moshood Abiola Polytechnic has over 20,000 students. So the multiplying effect is that a lot of people are living on rent paid by these students on houses. Artisans, carpenters, electrician, Okada rider, cab rider, driver rider. Pancheke market and Omida market, majorly their source of income is from the student. And now you are moving about 20,000 students out of Abeokuta, and you are bringing in 500 students into Abeokuta. I think that is also things that you should look at.
Okay, we continue on Dedairo. I'll blame the technical committee and Ogun State government. Let government reverse this decision. We need to fund the ones we have on ground. Ogun State is known for the best, and so let the government do the needful. God bless Ogun State. And for the messages, any right-thinking person will support the new university that is being established by Ogun State in Abeokuta. However, its establishment should not be at the expense of jeopardizing the career of the present staff of Mapoli and phasing out of Mapoli from its present campus to Ipokia. It should be a gradual process. All the technical issues involved, the effects of the new dispensation on the welfare of the workers, and other sundry issues must be openly trashed out by a joint committee of the people charged with the responsibility of implementing the university and representatives of the present staff of Mapoli. Don't forget the proverb that whoever wears the shoes knows where it pinches most. So the government must do the needful in order to achieve its set goals and also not destroy the legacy of Mapoli. God bless Nigeria. God bless Ogun State. Alhaji Busura from Kuto sent in that one. This one is from Egbeyemi Oladayo. I'm currently an IT student. I want to know our fate as HND applicant. Thank you. Please address that. Okay, then we have Taiwo Tululokwe. The establishment of MAUTECH is a time bomb waiting to explode. The foundation of the university is very faulty because stakeholders are sidelined. How do you create something out of nothing? How would the government establish a new polytechnic without the necessary infrastructures on ground? That's still from Taiwo to Lulokwe. Then Olowolaju Samuel. When two elephants fight, the grass suffers. The students of Mapoli will be affected most. Lawal, if polytechnic education can be treated like this, despite the government having the HND certificate, I'm sure ASU and NMA can never be treated like ASUP. Has it been treated in Mapoli? Okay, has there been treated in Mapoli? That's I to look where it's a fact that the establishment of MAUTECH was politically motivated to address selfish and egoistic needs of the current political class. Why then the need to upgrade Mapoli to a specialized university when it's glaring that it cannot accommodate all courses? Why not make it a conventional one? It's laughable when government said Ogun Poly will take off from the premises of a model school at Ipokia. Then we have this one from Sakara Man or Layode. I think state government and working committees should consider the staff and non-staff. Don't just abandon them because many of them are breadwinners. Yemi Da Vinci, I know he'll probably not call in today, but he should please clear the air. Why they refuse to allow ASUP to sit in? The mayor of God. Okay, the deed has been done now, and my question is, what can be done to resolve this? On Okofe Monday, the state government doesn't have the interest of the students at heart because what's the hope of the current students? Yemi Da Vinci, as an alumnus of Mapoli, Governor Mosu should personally wade in now and solve this imbroglio. It's almost out of hand. Then we have Badmos Damilare. Dele, maybe you should extend the phone time to 2.5 minutes. Cutting people off isn't good at all. Well, it's 2 minutes allotted to everyone so that we can have as many calls as possible. It can't be 2.5 minutes. The mayor of God's the issue. And will there be any side effects of actions on ground? Yemi Da Vinci, Mr. Abiola, what is the implication for the accredited courses in Mapoli if it doesn't admit students? Is Mapoli proscribed? Abi Fagbemi, what do you expect of the state and the Mapoli staff going with the dialogue before this action took place? God bless Mapoli. God bless the big students.
The chairman. Hello, let's have two calls. We come
Hello,
back
we
so
have
that
you.
we will address issues.
Hello,
Hello.
good morning.
Good
Yes,
morning.
morning.
Bashir This is my name. A concerned student of Napoli. Mr. Kola, I pray God bless you, sir. And God continue to bless your intellect.
Thank you very
And I
much.
pray your academic qualification will never be rubbish.
Thank you very much.
Sir, from the onset, I have seen a government who is not sincere about this issue. I see a government who is known for misplaced priority. You said a whole lot of things, and we are well informed, and we agree with you, hook, line, and sinker, on all your agitation. Well, all the totality of this of all these issues leaves me with some conclusion. One, we have a government and we have a transition committee who does not have a clear direction of upgrading a polytechnic to a university. And at the same time, I see a political agenda. I see a political undertone to all these issues. And as well, I see a government who has promised some political allies to give them job security by bringing them down to MAUTECH and rubbishing the lecturers. And as well, I see
Sorry, please. We want to guide this. Let us not come out with claims. I hope you.
we keep asking.
All right, thank you. Your 2 minutes, please. That's your opinion, really. Um, we don't want to permit unsubstantiated claims,
Yes.
insinuations, please. Hello.
Hello, good morning. Hello.
Hello, morning.
Hello.
Hello. Good
Yes, you are
morning.
on. Yes.
I'm calling from Ajegunle in Abeokuta.
Okay.
Good morning to the comrades.
Good morning, sir.
First of all, I would like to thank the comrades for coming out to let the good people of Ogun State know what is really going on in the transition process of MAUTECH. Please, it is very important. Let us ask from other administrations how they did it. I could remember when Tasket was about to turn into Tasket, they went through a lot of processes. The first thing they did was they made sure that Omu is already on ground. The time they start attending to students were there already. So people or lecturers that are not supposed to be in the university setting were just transferred to Omu. And everything went on like that. Please, Ogun State government should try and do the right thing at the right time. Don't play politics with this staff and students, please. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay.
Thank you so
Mr.
much.
Abiola, let's get your reactions to some of the comments, issues raised before we check the messages again.
To the good people of Ogun State, I want to say that as it stands today, maybe before we are still not in 11 o'clock, there is nothing on site of the present Ogun State Polytechnic Ipokia. The state government or the technical committee have proposed that Ogun State Polytechnic Ipokia should go and start up in an abandoned and uncompleted model skill building in Idiroko. And that's why one of our suspicion that how many courses do you want to go and start in a building meant for secondary school? One of the issues that we have raised and that we have sent to them are the fate of the students that have sat for JAM and have chosen Moshood Abiola Polytechnic as their first choice of polytechnic. If they do continue with this and they refuse those students admission, two things will happen. There will be no money to run Ogun State Moshood Abiola Polytechnic again. The parents will be saddled with having to go pay money to obtain change of institution course again, and the student having to be looking for schools to go. Most likely, those students will miss admission for this year because other schools will consider students of their first choice first. And the same thing will happen to our HND students who have collected form and now want to come back for their HND.
So are you not admitting this?
The government is not allow us. That's what we are telling the government. Allow us to finish the 2017-2018 academic session. They are not allowing it.
No, I don't understand. Does government interfere in the academic
Dele,
calendar?
You said it yourself. That who is the owner of the school?
That's for administrative purpose, not
for administrative purpose. The administrative purpose. They have stopped the process of admission for 2017-2018.
So you are not admitting.
So right now, Moshood Abiola Polytechnic is not admitting for 2017-2018 academic session for ND and HND.
Why? What is the reason given for that?
Please help us ask the owner of the school, and that's the question we have consistently asked them. Let us admit for 2017-2018 for ND1.
How was this done? Did that instruction came by circular?
We don't have a council, so the chairman, the school does not have a council now, and the chairman in council is the commissioner for education, and so whatever the staffs are going to do, they will receive directive from the management. The management receive directive from, and so we have written to the management to start admission process, and we have not gotten any response. And so it means directly that the owner of the school is not allowing us to admit. And at informal fora, they have told us that they want to admit into Ogun State Polytechnic Ipokia for 2017-2018 without accreditation.
All right,
I'm still okay. Somebody said, what can be done to resolve this? What can be done to resolve this? We have a slogan in our school now, said, MAUTECH must stay and Mapoli must not die. And what this literally means is that while you are nurturing Moshood Abiola University of Science and Technology, let Moshood Abiola Polytechnic gradually move to Ogun State Polytechnic. Don't forget the fact that when you are admitted for an ND program, the maximum year allowable for you to run your program is 4 years. The minimum is 2. So for the students that came in 2016, 2017, they have 2017, 2018, 2019, 2020, 2021, meaning that in the next 3 years, by law, Moshood Abiola Polytechnic is still in operation. So if this is still in operation, use this window to allow MAUTECH to grow. They will have grown not only from 100 level, they will have probably get into 400 level when Moshood Abiola Polytechnic will finally go to its permanent site. Moshood Abiola Polytechnic will continue to have fund to fund itself. Then the university that you have created, there are still few, you can now face them and use the fund to continue. That's what we are proposing to the government so that the academic activities can continue. So what are the implications of not admitting? It's going to affect students and their parents, and it's going to affect staff. Right now, a lot of things are going wrong in the school. The school that can ordinarily boast of 7 hours continuous power supply, before now we hardly have light power to do anything. We have talked about what is the fate of the student. But let me also say that the good people of Ogun State, that we should be vigilant about what is happening. People say that we are playing politics, we are playing this, but when we are vigilant, we'll see that people that are playing politics. We know that there is information of bill for the FYB, Freedom of Information Law. Please, we all have access to the bill that has been assented to by the Executive Governor of Ogun State. The bill are one, the upgrading of Moshood Abiola Polytechnic into Moshood Abiola University of Science and Technology. And the second bill is the creation of Ogun State Polytechnic Ipokia. Anything that is done outside of these two bills that is created is illegal. And so let us see what is happening, what is going to happen, and we see people that want to play politics with the lives of other people.
All right, we have just about 5 minutes to 11. Check out the debate continue on our Twitter handle at Rock City FM. Continue with the debate. Chairman, just one sentence. We have to leave.
I'm very happy somebody can remind us of what Professor Alabi said, the head of the Yowa think tank. And I dare say that Professor Alabi is talking from experience because he happened to have worked and retired from ASUP. So Professor Alabi will be talking from experience, and they know that we are not against the development of any section of Ogun State. And so one of the text messages clearly said it all. We don't think it is right to kill a prince or an unborn king.
All right, that is where we will end it this day, the Tuesday edition, September 12th, 2017 Citizens Forum. We thank you very much, Mr. Kola Abiola, sorry, Kola Abiola, for coming on the program. We just hope the needful, as it has become a phrase in this country, will be done by those who should do the needful, and everybody, like he just said, should be vigilant. It's important that we have peace and progress in our state. Dele Ayodo is my name. I say God bless you all. God bless Nigeria, and God bless Rock City.
Now I am Chienye Egwuonwu. Let's continue to live in peace and promote unity.